Alright, what's going on, Big Dogs? In today's video, I wanted to go over the new Call of Duty season and why it is one of the most disappointing things that Activision or Call of Duty in general has ever put out. So sit back, relax, and let's dig into this. Alright, guys, so the new season of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is officially here. It's been out for a couple weeks now, and I didn't want to do a video on it right away just because I understand how games work. You know, I like to give each new patch kind of a week to kind of settle in. So I was going to do this video last week, but instead I ended up doing the Mr. Beast video instead. So here we are. So I want to start off with the Warzone aspect of this patch, and then we'll move into the multiplayer side of things. So as of right now, I don't play as much Warzone as I did in Season 1. There's a good reason for that, which I'll get to here in a second. But the Warzone patch was terrible. It was so terrible. They had a slow ball, right? Just a slow ball right down the middle, and they could have just knocked this patch out of the park. And instead, they just watched it go by. They did nothing really to Warzone. Sure, they added in Resurgence, which really isn't a new map, but it technically is. And you can only play quads with it, which is dumb. So you have to still play on Al Mazrah if you're doing trios, duos, or solos. So if you want to play in the new map, you have to have 3 friends, which is stupid because, yeah, sure, I have friends I can play with, but not all the time everyone is on. So why the heck would we want to do like a duo fill or a duo no fill in a quads match? Like, that's just not fun, right? So I don't know why they did that again, but whatever. And so many of the guns that are broken as crap, the RPK, the Fennec, the Lockman, the TAC-5, so many of these guns that are just running rampant in Warzone right now, they could have easily tuned those up or tuned them down, and made everyone a little bit happier and kind of shifted up the meta a little bit, made it a little bit more like, they could have balanced it a little better so that way everybody would be running, they could run whatever they wanted, really. That's kind of what Call of Duty used to be about, was every gun was viable. Sure, some were a little harder to use or some weren't as optimal for certain maps. There's obviously certain guns that are good on everything, and there's guns that are better in certain situations, but still, for the most part, you could kind of run what you wanted in the original Warzone. But right now, if you don't run the RPK and the Fennec, you're kind of trolling. They're really, really broken. So again, I don't know why they didn't nerf them. I mean, they did a little bit, but it wasn't anything special. It did nothing to actually change anything about the game at all. So they really dropped the ball on this one. I mean, they did do a few things, and by that I mean they just reverted Warzone back to the original Warzone. No longer do you have to loot backpacks. Everything just falls out on the floor. Same with chests and like duffel bags, things like that. Everything just falls out on the floor like it used to. They tried to do like a weird mix of loot falling out all over the place and then having those dumb backpacks and duffel bags around the map, which nobody ever asked for that. If you're going to do like a bag or like a box system, why not just copy Apex Legends? Like, theirs is already really well done and really well organized and made properly. So I don't know why they wouldn't have just done that if that's what they're going for, but whatever, they reverted it back. So nothing was really changed, right? They just brought the game back to a state that it should have been in the first place. And to me, that's not even an update. That's just them being like, all right, yeah, we messed up and we made you deal with this for a whole, 2 months, but here you go. We fixed it finally. And it's like, but that's nothing, right? These guns are still running rampant. These glitches, these bugs, like I still can't even get into a game right now where my ping is under 75 for the most part. And to put that in a better point of view, I'm in the middle of the United States, right? I am smack dab in the middle. In every game I play, I sit around 15 to like 40 ping at the high end, right? Even in normal multiplayer Call of Duty, I sit at about 30. Okay? Warzone, though, for whatever reason, and maybe it's got something to do with how many players they've lost, but I sit at 75 on a good game. On an average game, I'm in like the low hundreds now. I don't know why that is. I don't know what's going on, but it's ridiculous, and I'm not the only one who's been experiencing it. All my friends have, streamers have, content creators have. It's been ridiculous. There is still ridiculous amounts of crashes when playing Warzone. I have no issues playing multiplayer. I can play multiplayer all damn day and will never crash once. But if I play Warzone for more than an hour, my game is crashing every 10 minutes. It's insane. It's not fun, and it's really, really irritating. Next, they also haven't fixed like the weird combat system, I guess is the best way to put it. In the original Warzone, it was a peeker's advantage game, right? So if you were the aggressor and jumped the corner, you were more than likely going to win that gunfight as long as you had solid aim, right? And you understood what the player was going to do next, right? In this one, it almost benefits you to just sit on the edge of the circle and camp in a bush. It is almost too casual friendly for its own good, and it just makes the game really slow, really not fun, and not interesting in any way, shape, or form. I want the game to be casual friendly, don't get me wrong, but this is a little much, and they still haven't fixed it. So the game is still just as dull and as boring as Season 1. And again, they really didn't change anything. All the guns that they said they quote-unquote nerfed, they were like, oh, the RPK? Yeah, okay, now it has one less round in the magazine. Like, really? I mean, that's not what they did, but that's basically what it seems like. They're like, oh, it does like slightly less damage now. But it's still the fastest time to kill gun. Why would that doesn't do anything? That didn't do anything. So they really just dropped the ball in Warzone. Multiplayer-wise, they didn't do as bad, but it was still disappointing. Again, multiplayer had the same issues where it was like, there were so many weapons that needed nerfs and needed buffs that they easily could have fixed, that they easily could have done, and they just ignored all of that, right? I understand they brought out ranked, and I understand that that was probably a priority for them because that's what everybody expected, but that is something that needs to come out when the game comes out, not a whole season later, okay? That is something that they should have had at least pretty much done at the launch of the game. So for them to say that they spent this entire time doing ranked play is BS. There was plenty of stuff they could have tweaked. There was plenty of stuff they could have done, and they just decided not to touch it. And in reality, it's because they know that they have gotten their money now, right? They got their money, and they're settling with that, right? And it's just super annoying because when I'm playing this game, right? Again, I don't have any issues with the maps. They brought back Dome and they brought back the museum, and those are really good. Don't get me wrong. I will never complain about Dome or Museum being back in the game. I know some people call that lazy, but with a game that's been putting out, a new game every year for the last almost 20 years, they're going to run out of material. That's just how this stuff works. And I don't really care if they're going to put in the same old maps, but at least they're good and they have good flow to them. All the game modes on them don't feel unbalanced or unfair in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to complain. But other than that, they didn't do anything that actually benefit the game in any way. Sure, ranked is fun and it's something new to do. But then, to top that off, I don't know what happened to their anti-cheat, but cheating has become so prominent all of a sudden. Now, I know other Call of Duties have had pretty bad cheating issues recently, but this has gotten ridiculous, man. I am seeing some of the most blatant, obvious cheaters. I'm not talking people that are like, well, he kind of looked at me through the wall for a split second, but, it could have just been a thing. Like, it's whatever. He might have snapped to me, but I'm just going to say he's cheating because I'm doing bad. I'm talking blatant, like, trace everyone through the wall, dropping 50, 60 kills a match. Like, these are blatant, obvious cheaters. And I will see them in multiple games in a row sometimes, even if I report and block them. These guys are just running rampant now. I've seen so many new fresh accounts, probably because these guys have been banned before, and they'll get these accounts to level 2, 300. It's insane. How are they getting that far into the game with how blatantly they're just openly cheating, and they don't even care. And then when you go to Activision's Twitter or you go to forums or anything like that and people are complaining about it, their only response is, well, yeah, that sucks, but people suck, Just don't worry about it. No, dude, your whole job is to make sure people aren't cheating in this game, man. That's part of the whole running a video game. And they just have continued to let it run rampant, and it's just gotten even worse with the new season. I don't know if the anti-cheat got messed with or people just finally figured out how to really crack through it, but it has gotten ridiculously bad. It is insane. It's almost not even fun to play anymore. I've been doing camo grinding, so I've really only been playing hardcore. So there's not as many in hardcore. But man, in ranked and just regular play, it is really, really, really bad. All in all, guys, this whole patch has just been a big letdown. Like I said at the beginning, this was such an easy patch for them. They could have knocked this one out of the park. They could have given everybody back what they wanted. They could have made the game a lot more fair, a lot more balanced, and they could have fixed so many of the issues that were going on with Warzone and multiplayer, which, to their credit, they did fix a few of them. But the amount that are still in the game and the amount of issues that now have come back, like I said, with the cheating, the random ping spikes, things like that, I don't know what they did, but this whole patch just had so much hype behind it because of ranked and because of the fact they were kind of reverting Warzone. And then at the end of the day, that's all they did. They did like 2 things when there was 40 they could have done. So it was just really disappointing to me. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. I've seen several other videos. Like I said, I wanted to do this one about a week ago, but I just decided to do the Mr. Beast video instead. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think down below. Do you think this patch was any good? Do you think there was anything really redeeming about it whatsoever? Let me know down below. Let me know what you love, what you hate. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to come check me out over on Twitch. Link will be down in the descriptions where I get all this footage, and you can come and BS with me, talk to me, ask me questions, whatever you want. I'm live almost every single day. And with that being said, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Have a good night, guys.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body in Harvard above me.